What is it that makes a great soldier? Is it his brain or his heart? My dad asked me that question at the age of 7 when I was at the breakfast table. I remember it vividly because he never told me the goddamn answer.
Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30 gave us a unique and interesting type of tactical shooter, unlike most anything we'd seen at the time, and all under the clever guise of a World War II shooter. Not only that, but the realistic style and design of everything from the story to the setting managed to set the game apart from other games of similar proportions. Brothers in Arms Hal's Highway makes a notable attempt to bring this concept into the next generation, and while the final result is by no means perfect, it does manage to succeed.
This will help us keep the Jeep straight.
And crush the Germans with our scary zoo animals. Scheiße! Ein Zebra!
The zebra is a fierce
Hey,
animal.
swordfishes are plenty tough. This one time, my friend Nathan got speared through his hand with its... Is it a beak? Wait, what was the other one?
Toucan. Hey, well, peck your damn eyes out, man.
For anyone who hasn't played the original Brothers in Arms, the sequel doesn't go out of its way to explain things for you, so there might be a few perceived plot holes in the narrative that are really just plot lines you don't understand. That being said, the storytelling in the game is very well done. Hal's Highway is the direct sequel of Road to Hill 30, and like the first game, you continue to witness the war through the eyes of Staff Sergeant Matt Baker, a veteran of the D-Day invasion, now tasked with leading his squad into the ambitious Operation Market Garden as they invade Nazi-occupied Holland toward the beginning of the game. If you know anything about World War II history, you'll know that Operation Market Garden failed and was one of the only Allied offensives in Europe in which the Allies lost and needed to retreat. This, and many other things about the story, managed to give Hal's Highway that same degree of separation from the genre that Road to Hill 30 started. Rather than glorifying or sensationalizing combat, the game tries to present the player with the ugly side of warfare that we never get to see, as you witness atrocities committed by the enemy, and Baker continuously struggles with the pain of losing men under his command. That's not to say there aren't cliches, but rest assured it feels more realistic than any other war game you'll play. The gameplay also manages to separate Hal's Highway from the overstuffed subgenre of very cliched World War II shooters. Instead of being just some dude who has to listen to a grizzled sergeant barking orders at you the entire game, you play the sergeant who's barking the orders. You'll command 4 separate fire teams at once, each consisting of 2 to 3 soldiers, meaning there are times you'll have 8 or 9 guys under your command. Each fire team has its own specialty, like the assault team, which is good for flanking around while the machine gun team lays down cover fire, or the bazooka team, which is good for taking out hard targets.
Jets! Put the fire on them!
Squad commands are managed by a single button you can use to point your kids around the battlefield, and enemy positions show as little markers which indicate how well suppressed they are, helping you know when to flank around an enemy position and when to dig into cover yourself. While some bugs in squad AI do become apparent at times, you'll find your soldiers will get hit more due to your poor leadership ability than anything else. This adds a layer of strategy rarely seen in first-person shooters, because if you're a good commander, you can make it through most areas without firing a single shot, and the game has more in common with Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter than it does with Call of Duty.
Jasper! Get that empty! Now!
Loading! Do it quicker!
Another reason for this is the health system. There is no health system. If you get shot even once, that's pretty much it. Don't be fooled by the World War II setting. This is a tactical shooter. That red filter you see shows you how much danger you're in, not how many hits you've taken. In other words, instead of allowing the player to walk around taking 10 rounds in the chest before he or she is finally killed, Hal's Highway allows you a certain amount of time to walk around in front of enemy machine gun fire before that machine gun zeroes in on your position and blasts you to hell. How much time you have to maneuver depends on how well suppressed the enemy is, which is why it's important to coordinate and focus fire with your squad. Thankfully, there is also a Rainbow Six Vegas style cover system, allowing you to dig in behind most any solid object. Some cover can be destroyed, however, so be careful to notice what you decide to hide behind, since bullets can realistically cut through wood. Environments look pretty good, even though the levels aren't all that varied. The entire game does take place in Holland, so the consistent design to environments makes perfect sense. Graphics in general can be a little buggy sometimes. Unreal Engine 3.0 is known for texture popping, and this game is no exception. It doesn't ruin the experience, but it can detract from the immersion sometimes. Explosions, fire, gun blasts, and crumbling wood cover does manage to counterbalance the bugs in the engine, however, and watching a Nazi's head get blasted open in slow motion is a great experience. Overall, you're looking at a well-designed and effectively dramatic, if somewhat linear, 8-hour single-player campaign. There are also a few different competitive multiplayer modes you can use to explore online, and while the multiplayer is in no way broken, it lacks the polish of the single-player campaign, and clearly wasn't the main focus of development.
When I give you an order, you follow it!
Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway does a good job at separating itself from other games in the World War II genre. It's an enjoyable tactical shooter that encourages, and in some cases requires, tactical strategy to succeed. The story is one of the most moving and dramatic narratives you'll experience in a World War II game, and it does a good job of showing us a more mature view of the war. The gameplay is mostly smooth, with minimal bugs that do little to detract from the strategic elements. Like all tactical shooters, though, it's not for everyone, and certain gamers who enjoy more fast-paced running and gunning might not be able to adjust to the squad-based command system. Even so, Hell's Highway is a different kind of shooter that's definitely worth playing, and its lasting value depends on how much you can appreciate the attempts at strategy and realism.